Okay, we're back again this week. Haven't done anything on the Dodge, sorry, but I've been working on the bike, getting it ready for spring, summer, all that. We just got the clutch back in, that's working, still got a little adjustments I got to do on it, break it in, all that. I noticed when I was trying to start my bike that my inline fuel filter wasn't filling up, so I checked all the fuel lines and nothing's clogged in that, but as soon as I took the gas line off the bottom of my carburetor, that glass fuel filter filled right up, so that means my carburetor needs to be cleaned. So I've already taken it off the bike. How to do that is in any manual you buy for the bike. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's 2 bolts on the carburetor itself, 2 bolts on the air cleaner piece that bolts to it. It's real easy to get apart. I'm going to show you how to clean this and get it the basics set up to get the bike running so you can warm it up to actually tune your carburetor. Super simple. This is an Ultima R2 carburetor. It is very similar to the S&S Super E. The only difference is the jets are set up in a different angle. I believe the S&S Super E, they're in line. This one's offset a little bit. And also the Ultima R2 carburetors have no casting marks on them. It's a very clean carburetor. But the tuning and all that, the cleaning, is all the same as if it was a Super E S&S carburetor. So we're going to get down to this. Basically loosen all these screws right here that hold your float bowl assembly on. Of course, a bigger screwdriver helps. Come on, get in there. Just as you take them out, set them down to the side so you don't lose them. Should be 4 of them, or 3 or 4 of them holding them in. Once you do this a couple times, you'll have it down packed. I mean, it took me a little bit to learn how to tune these carburetors. I'm used to car carburetors, but it's actually these S&S ones, the Ultimas, they're all really simple carburetors. They're great for entry-level people to be able to work on their own bikes. I definitely highly recommend it. Should have, which one was it? I think it's this long one right here. Don't quote me on that. Then that whole float bowl assembly should break loose. And this one is not. Did I miss one? I didn't miss one. It's just being stubborn. Come on. I've never had one stick like this. Why are you sticking? You're off, you're off. Oh, this thing acts like it's never been apart. What the frig? Hold on. I'm going to get a thinner screwdriver, see if I can get it in there. Usually they come apart real easy. I don't know why this one isn't. There we go. just had to break it a little bit. Pull that straight off. Set this off to the side. There's no fuel in there, so that's going to be collapsed down. Okay, then very carefully remove this gasket. I can't emphasize enough how careful you have to be, because you tear this, you're not getting it back together anytime soon. They do sell the replacement gaskets, but who wants to freaking wait? There, take that off, set it off to the side. You want to start by taking the main jet. Just break it out so it comes out. And basically you take some carburetor cleaner, put it right in the end here. Do your best not to get this stuff in your eyes. It will fucking burn. There, set that down on your thing. Then you go to your secondary jet. Same dealy. Just break it out a little bit. Pull that out. That's pretty clogged. Same deal. Put the straw right up to it. Come on, get in there. You'll notice when they're not clogged, they'll spray out these little side holes. That's how you know it's pretty well cleaned. I do recommend having pipe cleaners or airbrush cleaning brushes. They work really well. They don't hurt the brass. But if you can't get a hold of them, you know, a couple squirts usually do the trick. Then you take your main throttle body and all that.
Ah.
You okay?
Yes.
I just got my wife.
You suck.
And you basically just spray it in. And what that does is allows this to get in there and clean it. And then you want to go to the top, and you've got this. This is your air fuel mixture for, well, that's actually your fuel mix for idle. I'll be talking about how to adjust that if I don't run out of time. You want to pull this out because this actually goes down, and these really commonly get clogged. It goes into the carburetor both that way, and it also runs down in here to the throttle pump. But I don't mind making a mess in my garage. So now when you put this back in, what you want to do, come on, get in there, is don't use the screwdriver, because if you over tighten this or wrench on it, you'll end up breaking the carburetor cast. You do it till you just can barely, with your fingers barely on it, can't thread it in anymore, because there's this little tiny hole in here that you probably can't see, and that's where the point comes out. So if you over tighten that, that's going to crack, and this carburetor is absolutely useless at that point. Then you take this is the secondary jet, put it back in. Helps if I do it the right way. Sorry, I'm kind of rushing this just because I've only got a 22-minute film time. It does not matter. Once they're threaded in, it doesn't matter. There's like not a special positioning or anything like that that they need to go through. One last thing here. I don't have a pair of pliers. Let's see. That won't work. Oh, hold on a second. Slipping all over the place. That's not what I'm looking for. Seriously, I don't know my pliers. this is a pain in the butt. Make sure you get all your stuff where you're working. It does make the job a little easier. And don't bend any of your carburetor rods. It's just knocking a little bit loose. Well, maybe a wrench. That's probably what I should have used in the first place. Okay, you gonna go on? No. There we go. Of course, that one's going to be too big. That's too small. Welcome to my frustration. Okay, what are you, like a weird freaking size? Come on. There we go. Broke it loose. Because there's, as you can see, there's holes in this that you need to clean out as well. Just spraying it down that hole is not going to do it. Get over here so I don't freaking get anybody. Yeah, now I go overkill on the carburetor cleaner, but oh well, my bike, I'll do what I want. An easy way to tell if these are clogged is put your finger over the big hole and blow in that like a whistle. If you have restricted airflow, they're not clean. If you don't have the restricted airflow, they're clean, you're good. Then you just line it back up, get it in there, screw it on in. Once again, you don't have to do it hard. You put your main jet back in. And you literally just want to give it just a little tightening so it doesn't back out while you're riding. Same with this one. There we go. That should be pretty well. I mean, check your butterfly, which is this brass round piece in here. Look for any corrosion, any gunk. I got a little bit in there. Okay, so this piece should be all set. I mean, I could clean the throttle pump, but I don't see any need to, because that's usually not what goes bad. Now, on this bike, what's gone wrong is this piece right here has clogged. I know that's what's clogged because the butterfly, or the float in there is running fine. Literally, that's pretty much it as far as cleaning it. And then you put your gasket back on, making sure to line everything up. Everything's lined up there. Now let's see, it goes this way. Now you got to line these rods up with your floats. You'll see there's a little hole off to the side of the main jet that is that it? Nope, that's not it. I got this backwards or something? That doesn't match, that match. Anyways, there we go. When you get everything lined up right, it'll snap right back together. I mean, it's that easy. Once you get it all seated down, you just heard it pop. Then you put your screws back in it, which takes no time at all. As long as you got the right carburetor or right screwdrivers. Figures, I thought I set all the tools out for this earlier, but apparently I neglected pliers, not thinking. Yeah, I recommend wearing safety glasses, although, I mean, when that shit sprays, it doesn't really help you to have safety glasses. I'd wear gloves too. That carburetor cleaner's no joke. I mean, it's some pretty nasty stuff. Okay, then you just tighten these. Once again, do not over tighten these, because if you strip that, your carburetor's useless. Because the money you're going to pay to have new threads put in, pretty much you can replace this carburetor. Come on. But they're pretty, I mean, like I said, these carburetors are really easy. Once you understand how they work, which, believe me, I got some trial and error in on these. I originally started with an S&S Super E. I rebuilt it once, but couldn't figure out why my bike wouldn't run right, and it actually has to do with the setup conditions on these bikes, which I'll get to as soon as I get to this last screw. Because basically what happens is the factory sends a generalization standard procedure for your settings, and yeah, it's great for like the 1340s and bigger, but for 1200s and 883 Sportsters and even Ironheads, that setup is a little bit different, and they don't tell you that. I actually learned that from a motorcycle mechanic. So we're going to flip at the top, and, well, actually, I got to get it right. There we go. Okay, this is your air-fuel mixture. It's all the way in and seated. Now, for big twins, this is 1.5 turn, or 1 1/4 to 1.5 turns out. Now, for an 883, 1200 Sportster, or 1000cc Sportster, it is, hold on, start right there, 1/2, 1 turn out, or your bike will not run to warm up to tune this without the use of the choke, and that's just a waste of everybody's time. Now this screw here, which is basically your idle speed, what you do is there's a little tab down here on the side where it seats, and what you do, you're not going to be able to see it because of the light and everything, you back it off, okay, and then you push it so it just makes contact with that plate. Not so it moves that plate, but so it just makes contact. And then you give it a 1/4 to 1/2 turn. Now that will be readjusted once you get your bike warmed up. And all that does is gives it just enough so that you're getting enough air and enough fuel for this to run. So basically, that's how you clean these. That's how you pretty much tune them. It's real easy. Yeah, that's great. Okay, I just blew on the bottom of that. You got to kind of blow with it with the thing standing upright, because if you tip it upside down, the float closes and you can't blow in it. But now that that's flowing freely, I know this carburetor doesn't have any areas that I have to worry about. Everything's been cleaned out that needs to be cleaned out. I'm going to bolt this back on the bike, and the bike should be running this evening. I'm not going to get a video of that because I'm running out of time, but I will go over the tuning specs for this carburetor. I mean, pretty much you can do it by ear. You know what you like with your bike. It's not good to keep idle your bike, any Harley actually, below 10,000 RPM, because it does a lot of damage to your lower end due to lack of oil flow. but I like to keep mine kind of a higher idle. I think it sounds better, the bike acts better, you know, no stall out on takeoff. So with that said, guys, I hope this video was useful. Like us, subscribe us, follow us on Facebook. If you got any comments, we'd love to hear them. Other than that, thank you very much and have a good one.